Hi, Pat the Podcast Editor here. Do you have an internal burning motivation to achieve greatness? Well, if you do, then you and Dan Knowlton have something in common. And in today's Knowlton Nugget, Dan and Lloyd talk about some of their must-have attitudes to succeed in the business world. Let's take a look.
My first one is having an internal burning motivation to achieve greatness.
Oh, cheesy.
I wrote in brackets, it sounds cheesy, but it's true. But I think having, that's a really cheesy way to say that, isn't it?
Sorry. I need to reflect on this. You've literally written in our notes, having an internal burning motivation to achieve greatness.
Yeah.
That is on another level.
I wrote it for kind of comedic effect and impact,
Good.
Lloyd. So
Good. Let's achieve that. Sounds ridiculous.
But no, it sounds ridiculous. But what I mean is having an internal motivation to achieve success. We're talking about what are the things that have made us successful.
It's mainly been my burning motivation.
No, but I think I've always had an internal motivation to achieve something. I haven't always known what that is, but I've always like put myself all in on things and wanted to. And currently with this business, we both are like we want to make this work. We want to grow. We want our team to grow. If you haven't got some kind of internal motivation to achieve success in whatever pillar health, families, whatever, your career, then you're not going to achieve it.
So trying to develop that constant motivation to basically put enough effort in to improve things and achieve things.
And I think if you haven't got that, something I always try and think about is where am I trying to get to? And like remind yourself of that point. Let's talk about relationships. Mm-hmm. So let's say the point you're trying to aim towards is the best boyfriend or girlfriend in the world. You want your boyfriend or girlfriend to be the happiest ever with how you treat them.
Yeah.
So that's your end point.
Good end point.
Whenever you're thinking, I don't know if I can be bothered to make an effort and take them on a date or, do the dishwasher that they get annoyed about. And again, I'm not perfect at this. I'm giving myself this advice whilst I'm saying it. Think of that end point of where you want to be and remind yourself. And then you're like, I do actually want to get there. So I know I need to do these little steps to...
Interesting, because it's like, I think, well, does anyone have a burning motivation to do the dishwasher? But like you're saying, if it's something that's actually really important to you and it's a step towards that, then I can see how you could develop that motivation.
And I think a lot of people moan about their situation and the situation they're in. And I get, some people, it's not their fault and things. But I think if you're complaining about something, but you're not motivated to get to the point where you're, not going to be complaining, then you need to really take a long, hard look in the mirror and say, like, do you really want that thing? Do you really want to be in a better situation? Because if you do, you'll get up and make an effort. I suppose if you're struggling
to get motivated to work towards something as well, it may be that if you really reflect on it, that's not what you want.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why you're not being motivated. You need to think, actually, what am I aiming for? What am I trying to achieve? Because if you're saying, I want this, and over like 20 years you just never do anything towards that, you've got to think, well, do you really?
So there you have it. For more of Dan and Lloyd's must-have attitudes to achieve success, jump back to episode 67 of the Business Anchors podcast. We will see you next week for another Knowlton Nugget.